Internet dwellers, and are you ready? I didn't actually ask you that question.
I am.
Do you need water?
I was humming.
Do you need anything?
You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to be rude and ruin the beginning of the show. I'm going to wait till the middle of the show and then ask for water.
Oh, in the middle. You're gonna create a commercial break.
Right.
In the middle of a podcast.
Right.
That's for free.
Yes.
Hello, Internet dwellers, and welcome back to Franchise Schmanchise. This here is the podcast. I have to face the microphone when I talk in the microphone. The podcast where we take a gander at many different franchises and movies, one movie at a time, and figure out whether or not they deserved to continue to be franchises. I am your host, Jeff Bell, back again. And as you probably saw on the title for this episode, we started a brand new franchise. Now, by starting a brand new franchise, that means, of course, a new co-host.
Woo!
TC's gone. Mm-hmm. That was not TC.
Second is always better.
Second is, what is it?
Always
First
better.
The worst, second the best.
Yes, I
Third
think so.
the third, and fourth is cool people.
Well, who cares after second?
The Olympics don't. Wait, really? No, there's the third place. That's what bronze is, Jeff. Yay! All right. So anyways, we started a brand new franchise. We've also recording this one slightly different. We're both in the same room for this one, as opposed to TC and I, where we were across countries.
Same country, though.
Same country, but
yes.
Across country. Because we'd be in different countries. Anyways, so welcome the new co-host for this series of, or this brand new franchise.
Police Academy, which was suggested by
my co-host, named Kris Schulz.
Sorry, I froze there.
You
froze. I'm like, oh.
What do I do? What's my name? Jeff Bell. No, I'm Jeff Bell. Anyways, yes, thank you, Kris. Thank you for arriving at my podcast.
Well, you've already eliminated certain ones. Like you said, you know what? Let's not do James Bond.
Yes, I don't want to do James Bond. Not now, maybe in the distant future. But there's already a podcast for James Bond.
That's true. So then, right, which makes this unique, because how many podcasts are there for Police Academy?
I'm pretty positive we are the first podcast. Maybe the second, maybe the seventh. I don't really know.
Right.
But we could be very well one of the first.
I just know I didn't do the research. So
well, you're in the right place, because neither do I.
So, well, my logic was, how can I get the longest franchise possible? And in not being James Bond, I immediately fell on Police Academy because there's been like 40 of them.
Yeah. There's only been 7. Nice try.
I was counting episodes of TV.
Of the TV show, right? Which, good point to bring up. So the Police Academy franchise does have, an animated TV show?
There's an animated show and a TV show.
And a normal TV show.
Yep.
We purposefully are not doing we're not doing we're not doing TV shows. Whether they're cartoons or live action. The point of this show, since this is a new franchise, so we can kind of discuss some of this extra stuff. Die Hard really didn't have any other types of spin-offs or entries into it, but for the Police Academy movies, they do. There was multiple TV shows. We will not be doing those. Also, I've ruled that out. Originally, the rule was going to be no direct-to-video. We were only going to do theatrical movies. But technically, it's still a franchise, even if it's a direct-to-video. I was going to say direct-to-DVD, but I'm like, nah, direct-to-video still sounds modern and hip.
I don't believe any Police Academy came out in the era of DVD.
No. Police Academy definitely ended prior to the era of DVD by a good 5 or 6 years, if I recall correctly. Sorry, I just got sidetracked by an advertisement when I was trying to open up IMDb.
I should have gotten water.
You should have when I was distracted. But now you cannot, and now you are tied to that chair where you will remain for the rest of the show.
I'm literally tied.
You are literally tied with ropes and bungee cords because I did not have enough rope.
Right. And you can't buy the name brand bungee cord, so you bought bungee cord.
I bought bungee cord. It's cheaper. It doesn't quite work as well. I don't recommend it to be used for bungee jumping.
It's got a little odor to it.
Bungee jumping, however,
right.
Totally available and totally okay with that. It's usually just a one-time thing anyway, so don't worry about it. So anyways, let us talk. So yes, we are doing Police Academy. We are doing the classic 1984 comedy.
It's absolutely a comedy.
Yes, it is. We need to discuss the type of comedy this is because I have a couple notes on just it's not a standard comedy, but that's what we need to talk about. And I suppose we could just get right into it right away.
Let's just get into it right away.
Police Academy, the first Police Academy film, just Police Academy, no subtitles, nothing like that. So the comedy this movie is not your standard, like, it's not your standard comedy, because I feel like in the 80s, there was like 3 different types of comedies. One of them tended to be the raunchy, like, Animal House, Revenge of the Nerds, Porky's, that 80s, like, like college or like high school type humor. That was also very, like, heavy on nudity, heavy on swearing, a lot of, like, drug and alcohol use. Like, that's what they were. There was also, like, this movie is, because this is like the only one that was rated R, I think, out of the entire franchise. They kind of got a little tamer. Yeah. Which is weird, because in my head, I remember them all being like this movie. So I don't know what I'm remembering, and which is good, because I've seen all of these movies, but I have no clue what happens. I actually got upset because I forgot this is not the one with Bobcat Goldthwait in it.
That's every other one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to show up. I'm like, I know he shows up like a little bit into the movie, and I'm like, he's okay.
Let's not ruin our future ones, okay, by talking about Bobcat too much.
But I still don't know where he's
Bobcat.
at. No Bobcat. Can I do John Deere?
Yeah, I know that takes care of all your notes.
Yep, that's just, well, I'm just going to go ahead and close this.
Yeah.
It was all questions of where is Bobcat Goldthwait? Should it have been Bobcat Goldthwait?
Was he behind the guy at the end, the big tall guy?
Yes.
I think Bobcat was behind him.
Is he in the mobs? Is he in, like, the scene at the end when, like, the mob is, is it, like, is he there? Like,
so should we give a little recap of the movie? Just a brief. So for those of you that don't remember,
or have never seen it. It's very possible people have never seen the Police Academy films.
Yeah, probably.
This is definitely not as high profile as Die Hard. Like, Die
Hard. Absolutely.
We've gone opposite spectrums of police movies.
It's true.
TC and I did, like, the high profile blockbuster Die Hard cop movie.
Now, which one's more realistic?
That's actually kind of hard to say.
Yeah. Because your heart says it's got to be Die Hard, but your brain says, you know what, it's probably Police Academy.
I think I could do the driving the car up on 2 wheels and parking it thing. I could probably do that.
So anyway.
Welcome to the show.
So the mayor of the city has a problem with the police force. There's not enough people. So she says, you know what, let's get rid of any restriction that we had prior. So age, gender, height, weight, all that garbage is out of here. Yep. And if you want to be a police person, come on down.
Right. They don't care about race. They don't care about gender. They don't care about, you could argue, intelligence.
Right. And, so the police chief isn't too happy with this. So he says, make sure we're not graduating any of those people. Yeah. And
they're letting them in, but we want to make sure they don't make it to be cops.
Yeah, so that's the basic premise. Yeah. Like that's the center of the movie. Yep. It's not
a complicated plot.
No.
That is literally, it's the 80s. That's what the plots were in the 80s.
Yeah, definitely. And it was a Steve Guttenberg vehicle. Yes. So watching it this time, there's a lot less Steve Guttenberg than I remembered. Like, when I think Police Academy, I think Steve Guttenberg is just like the big star. All the plot lines are centered around him, and that's not true. This is a very much a collective cast.
It's an ensemble film, and they do a really good job at giving every very unique character their moment to kind of shine in the film.
Absolutely.
And there are a couple that maybe have it a little more than others. The movie opens with Tackleberry. Yeah, yep, Tackleberry. It opens with him prior to coming to the police force as a security guard. So he kind of has his focus, but Tackleberry and then Mahoney, and then I guess you could argue Mahoney and his time with Bubba Smith. Which
Hightower.
Thank you. I was trying to think of his name. I'm like, Bubba Smith. That's all I can think of. I know his real name. I don't know his character name. But those three seem to have, and I guess, and the dick cop, the bad
Harris.
cop, Lieutenant Harris. Like, those tend to be like your 4. If there were main characters, those are the 4 you see the most of. Yeah. But it's still very evenly balanced across the board, which is so weird. And
it is to think about it again, because I'm coming into watching this. It's been years since I've seen it. And
I'm pretty positive it's been 20 years since I watched this movie.
Steve Guttenberg was like, this was his movie, and really it wasn't. And maybe the future ones, they center more around him and they get away from the ensemble. But this one was definitely ensemble.
Because he started becoming a little bigger of a star maybe as they went, and they're like, well, we can focus on him.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention one very important person in this movie.
Kim Cattrall?
Yes. She was in everything. She was like a 80s comedy, like raunchy comedy, like staple. Because she's in Revenge of the Nerds. Or sorry, she's in Porky's. She's one of the girls in Porky's.
And she's in the franchise that you'll probably be doing with Aaron Williams.
Which one?
Mannequin.
Oh, there is 3 of those damn things.
Yes.
Damn it. I only liked the first one.
All right, Aaron. Called you up. Anyway.
Guess we're doing Mannequin. All right. Man, I seen the second Mannequin film. I know there's a third.
Mm-hmm. That one may have been straight to video.
Because that one dealt with Styles. No, not Styles. That's Teen Wolf. Dealt with the black flamboyant dresser guy. Can't think of his name. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a different franchise.
Different franchise, different podcast. But coming soon. Watch for episode 362. So halfway between here and the Look Who's Talking franchise, we're doing Mannequin. Guys, if we have come to doing Mannequin before, I'm pretty positive we're reaching the end of the show, because it's just we're scraping the bottom of franchises. No, so let's talk about the comedy in this movie, because that's where I was going with it. Like, it's not a straightforward comedy. It almost has elements of like a spoof film. Mm-hmm. It borderlines a handful of times to being like Airplane. Like it has the same type of joke. It's almost like they're spoofing a cop movie, like a cop recruitment film.
Absolutely. I mean, it feels very much like little skits.
Yes.
Yes. Like the joke. While there are some jokes that carry through, Tackleberry with the big gun and things like that, there are certain times where you go from one setup to the next setup where the joke isn't continued. And the good thing is they have a big enough cast that is not as confusing to watch. It's not, again, Tackleberry in each skit. It's Mahoney, Tackleberry this one, Hightower and Hooks in this one. Which
works then well for, like we just said, like establishing it as an ensemble film and giving each character their moment, like, because there's like, everybody just has their own skit that they're in, with occasionally Mahoney tackling through. But like little jokes like the 2 bumbling idiot cops, the ones that shave their heads even though they're not supposed to, or they don't need to.
They don't need to.
Like when they come in the school or the classroom to bully the big fat guy, and the shorter and dumber of the 2, we'll just say that, like he grabs his books and like goes to throw them out the window, and they just smack up against the closed window, and he looks at it that's an Airplane joke. That's a spoof movie gag. That's not a gag that's in a standard comedy. It still works in a standard comedy, but it was just that was that moment where I'm like, okay, this is definitely not a normal film. Hold on a second, I need to pause that to make sure that doesn't mess with downloading our recording.
A recording.
I'm totally not downloading anything illegal. Please don't call the cops. Anyway, so the but yeah, like that comedy just. And like I didn't do this for Die Hard. I wrote down like a couple lines of just like bits that I like like somebody going like, nobody screws with me, and I think it's Mahoney's response of going, maybe you'll meet the right girl and all of that will change. I went, oh, that was brilliant. Like, it's so stupid and it's so witty, and it's not a very like highbrow, it's not a very like, oh, that was well written comedy. It's just stupid fun jokes.
Yeah,
but they're entertaining and they're good. They're entertaining to watch. So, but yeah, anything else about like the comedy? Anything about the style of it? Like we kind of discussed everything about that. So if you have nothing else,
no, I think it works. It did help it stand out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because the 80s had their, like you talked about before, the 80s had their comedies. They had the raunchy ones. They had the vehicles, the so Bill Murray was in a number of comedies.
Yeah, they were very much so
Chevy
like
Chase, like all those old SNL players were in those that were centered on them. That was a different
tailored for
type of
them.
80s comedy.
Right.
And this one does seem different because it is that go harking back to the National Lampoons.
And that's not to say that it still doesn't have elements of those other 80s movies. I mean, we still have what I usually call in when I live tweet a movie, the 80s movie status achieve, which is actually from Mr. Dan Casey. He was the one that kind of got me started on that. In the concept that every 80s movie needs to have like two things, and one of them is boobs.
Yeah.
Like boobs need to be in it at some point for it to be classified as an 80s movie. And this still does that.
It does. It qualifies.
It qualifies a couple times, actually. Mostly one of them, which being is Kim Cattrall's outfit she wears at one point. And then the second one is the women's shower room that is in the basement and has giant wide open windows that Mahoney can just stand and look into.
Mahoney was never caught. It was Harris.
He was not caught. That is very true. Harris was the one that was caught. I will say that. But I mean, I'm just saying, Mahoney is a little bit of creep, a little creepy every once in a while.
Mahoney is the lovable puck.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's not a bad guy, but he does some bad things.
Yes,
right.
He does bad things, but he's not a bad guy. Like if push comes to shove, he's never gonna like throw you under the bus entirely or like try to kill you.
Right.
Like,
he'll always choose the right thing to do. He'll do bad things, like especially
he'll do
when
questionable things.
Yeah.
Especially like the whole prostitute and
Yes.
and podium. That gag, I totally remember that gag. Like that one I remember happening in this first film. But then at the same time, I'm pretty positive I was a little kid when I saw this movie the first time, and I did not understand that. This time
agree.
around, yes, this time I'm like, oh, good Lord, I should not have been watching this movie as a child.
When Mahoney afterward leans out and looks out,
which is so stupid for him to do. First off, like, why would you do that? But that he's willing to like go along with it,
right.
Like, yeah, it's totally him. I love it. Oh, and I also feel like at that point in the film is when the police chief, because I have vague memories of him getting kind of goofier and goofier and almost
Commandant Lassard.
Yeah, like almost more senile and more like a Leslie Nielsen-esque vibe to him as the series goes. I feel like at that moment after the podium scene is when in this movie he kind of starts going a little goofier. And
I think they if they could have cast anyone, they would have cast Leslie Nielsen for that role, because that seemed to be, I mean, the
right age.
Yeah, the right age, and that's they're playing it dry, completely dry humor. Leslie Nielsen, I mean, he was fine. The actor, he just passed away recently.
Yeah, he just passed away, didn't he? He was really old too, if I recall correctly. So in case you guys might hear, I don't remember if that gets picked up. I live really close to a train track.
Mm-hmm. You're a hobo, so it makes sense.
We are actually on the train right now.
Right.
I have a massive sound suppressor, so you don't hear the clickety-clackety of the tracks.
Hobo Jeff.
franchise, my Hobo Jeff. That's such a weird thing. Anyway,
George Gaines.
That's the actor.
That's the actor. Yep.
Yeah, he is. See, but like if you had cast Leslie Nielsen, so at this point in time, so Leslie Nielsen had been in Airplane, and he'd already done Police Squad, I think. At this point.
The TV show.
The TV show, which was brilliant. I love that show so much. If anybody's ever seen the Naked Gun films and wants more, you have to find Police Squad if you haven't seen it, because that show it's literally, I mean, that's what Naked Gun was. The first one is Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad. Like, it was the movie version.
The continuation.
It's so well done. Oh, the fake freeze frame at the end of every episode. So well done. So good. But if you had cast him in the film, I feel like at that point the movie would then suddenly become, oh, is this a spoof movie? I think that's where I would naturally have gone.
It could have. I mean, I think this was kind of before his spoof.
Like before it had really taken off?
Yeah, before really, because that was in the 90s. That really, he was in like every single spoof movie.
Yeah, he had become the spoof guy. He's who you got if you wanted any kind of
Whereas
credential.
George Gaines went on to raise Punky Brewster.
That is true. Wow. I forgot that. Well, look at that, everybody. I learned something on this podcast.
Yay,
That's
podcast
amazing.
over.
We're done. 20 minutes in. We don't even do the rest of these movies. We are finished. No, that's a lie. So here's the other thing I noticed. So these are just some observations. The 80s movies had like a really big thing about casting former NFL players. Like they had all turned to Hollywood. I just was wondering what that fascination was about. Like you have that with Naked Gun and O.J. Simpson, and then you have it with Hightower in this movie. Like it's happened in a handful of movies I've seen. Like I wonder why.
Oh yeah, you had in Blazing Saddles, you had Webster's dad in there.
Oh yeah,
See, he's a former football player.
Like I wonder why.
George Karras.
Does that give you like? Do they feel like that gave the film some credibility? Because it's like, oh look, it's a.
Well, it's a big guy, right? Like I mean, his name is Hightower.
It's true.
So it's a very literal.
He's so cool.
Very literal, and Bubba Smith was a giant man.
That man, Bubba Smith, just from a sheer size, would be the guy that if I ever came up to anywhere, I would just turn around and walk away. The man could like palm your head in his hand. You know, like when they tear out the seat for him to drive. I love that they made him kind of like this little kitten, big, huge, imposing guy, almost like a Frankenstein is almost where he is. You know,
he's a florist.
That's true. That's
works
right.
With flowers. Yeah, works with flowers and shit. Sorry, I just made it.
Oh no, it's okay. This podcast is totally fucking explicit. So,
Okay.
anyways, because I can't help it. If somebody else swears, I have to.
So, and so something with Hightower. So he had been a retired football player, I believe, by this time. But he had such a big gap in his teeth. Like he, if you notice, like in the first 3/4 of the movie, he didn't smile at all.
Right. He kind of kept his mouth shut.
Right. Because he was so he was so ashamed of that. And it wasn't until the director came over and smiled into him big, and the director had like a larger gap in his teeth, that he finally was like, okay, I can do this.
It's like, all right, I guess I'm not that bad. It's not that bad after all. So like, general thoughts about the movie. So we're about 20-ish minutes into this episode. So general thoughts regarding the film. Any other things that we kind of glossed over that you can think of? So here's the thing with here, let me just state this. So with Die Hard, we can easily dissect, the film and go into like crazy amounts of detail talking about the movie. Some of these movies might be a little harder to do that for, because like you just said, it is a very, or like we said, it's a very basic premise. Maybe like, what was your favorite moment in the film? Maybe we could discuss that. Like, was there a gag that you like? I liked the whole movie. I guess you know my reasoning, like my feelings behind the film. I enjoyed this movie.
I really enjoy the introduction to Mahoney.
Okay, yep.
Like, so there's two pieces. There's one where he drives the car in the parking lot and parks it. But then the other introduction is when he's at the police academy. In his half cut off shirt with bun in the oven with an arrow pointing down.
I will say this real quick. Mahoney's ripped. He actually has
Steve Guttenberg.
He actually like has some muscles and like a decent body to him, considering he's kind of the goofy everyday man comic relief.
Yeah,
he's like really like ripped from the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
Like he went.
Thank you, Stonecutters.
Why?
Because they made Steve Guttenberg a star.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so that's my favorite moment, is the introduction.
When I have nothing, I just pause quietly and awkwardly for as long as humanly possible.
The Mahoney's introduction, because you really get a sense of who this character is and his motivation in just... Really, you don't even need to hear him talk. You can see visually those two moments, and you completely figure him out, but in a good way. Like it's you get to know every character really, really quickly, because they all have one thing about them. Like Kim Cattrall's character is gorgeous. Steve Guttenberg is a puck. Hightower is tall. Tackleberry is gone. Hooks she has a very quiet voice.
So funny story about that. So okay, there's two things about Hooks. Now, yes, I will totally agree. Everything you were saying, I was totally listening. I'm sorry, that made it sound like I was not paying attention. I was literally paying attention to everything you said, but talking about Hooks just reminded me of that. But yeah, like they all have their own unique thing. You can continue. We'll come back to Hooks if you wish.
Michael Winslow. We haven't talked about him yet.
We have not talked about Michael Winslow at all.
This was like his first movie, and I don't know where my childhood would be without Michael Winslow making whatever noises he wanted.
And somehow it just sounds amazing.
Right.
It sounds fake. It literally sounds fake.
I had read, like, he did all the sound effects basically in the movie. He did all like the intercom.
Yes.
He did everything like in the film. Like he added everything. And
Like,
he was an added character. Like he wasn't cast, and then they ran into him and they heard him and they're like, we got to put him in this movie.
Like that was the one thing. Like he did the normal voiceover, like the intercom announcements, even though it's not his character, he still did them. And then, because there's a joke in the movie where obviously he fakes it at one point.
Yes.
That's one joke. And then later on, I think Mahoney comes in and it's when they're going to do the riot. When they're all called to the riot, and Mahoney comes in and asks him, "Was that you?" And he's like, "No." That's funny for two reasons. One, because it is actually him doing the announcement, but it's not his character doing the announcement. Like that's a funny little like. Only if you really knew that he was doing the intercom all the rest of the time. That's just an extra bonus joke.
My other favorite moment, speaking of Michael Winslow, is when he's playing the video games in his
just alone with lights off, just
with no TV, no remote. He's just playing a video game, and Lieutenant Harris comes in and is about to say something, thinks better of it, turns around.
You know, Lieutenant Harris is another one of those one of those actors, G.W. Bailey, who it's like he was in a couple of the movies from my childhood too, because he's also, I believe, in Mannequin.
I think so. He's a security
guard for Mannequin.
Security guard. You so want to do Mannequin
it's like
franchise now.
The funny thing was I had literally yesterday acquired it so I could watch it again because it was one of those movies I watched.
I did not know that. I was not aware of that.
Oh yes. No, that was the thing. That's why I laughed so hard when you brought it up earlier, because I'm like, I just wanted to watch that movie. I like Mannequin. It's a stupid rom-com, from the 80s. It's got Andrew McCarthy in it, and I can't help it because
Brat Pack.
It's Brat Pack, and I grew up watching Weekend at Bernie's. So Jason Silverman. That sounds right. And Larry, Larry and I can't remember. Whatever.
Cousin Larry?
Not Cousin Larry. That's weird. But no, G.W. Bailey is another one of those actors that always kind of played cops. Not always, but a lot of times played cops.
Connection with the Die Hard series.
Oh my goodness, there's so many connections.
No, but just like there's one actor that seems to play similar roles all the time.
Very true. Because that would have been Al Johnson.
Right.
Yep. Original Val Johnson. Sorry. Not Al Johnson. That's not a person.
No.
That's half of the person.
No.
That's just really weird. So when it comes to Hooks, so I was reading online because I do, contrary to what I said at the beginning of this episode, I do kind of do some research. I do kind of read into some of these movies that we watch just to kind of figure out some stuff. And I do know that that Hooks, they put her into a fat suit because one of the things was going to be that she was going to be made fun of for how heavy she was. And as the movie progressed, she was like at the end of the movie during the graduation ceremony, she was going to be thin, like she had actually lost the weight, and haha, I could do it after all type thing. But so they started filming the movie with her in a fat suit, and filmed that plot line that she was losing weight, and then they realized she's just funny when she's a little overweight, She just seems a little like goofier, a little mousier, and so they cut that out of the film. So she's just kind of always heavy until the graduation ceremony when she doesn't have the fat suit on and she's thin, and then she never wears it again for the rest of the franchise, I don't believe. But it's that's a weird plot point that they cut out of the film because she's really not that. That's not even big, but she really doesn't weigh that much.
She was 80s big.
She was 80s big.
Look at Chunk from Goonies. He was the fat kid.
He was the fat kid.
And he wasn't even that. You look at him now, it's that'd be a skinny kid in today's world.
I'm fatter than Chunk. Oh.
I'm not going to make you dance.
I'm fatter than Sloth. So, But her voice is based upon when she got to meet Michael Jackson.
Oh, that is neat.
So that's why, like, her squeaky little quiet voice was done, because that's based upon the way that Michael Jackson talked to her when she met him. And apparently the sound guys were so used to her talking like that when she actually screams, like, "Don't move, dirtbag," it startled the sound guys, because they had the volume turned way down, or turned way up so they could pick her up on audio. And she screams that line, and they didn't think that she could actually do it. Yeah, pretty fun little things like that I never knew growing up, but I'm like, yeah, it's kind of fun. It doesn't add anything to the movie or take away. So
no, I think what it does do is what I liked that the director did is he gave a chance for all the actors to kind of create their own character, right? Like, he didn't come in, he was, with the writers and say, this is who you are, this is who you're playing, this is how I want you to act. It was find your own hooks, find your own whoever, Tackleberry, like, find that character. And I think that's a great way to handle something like this too, because you're the people that are cast were well, some of them were well respected actors, like the guy who did Tackleberry, like, he turned down like a Shakespeare thing to do this, or he turned down something else. I forget what it was.
Oh man, I hope it was like a Shakespeare play.
It was like a serious drama, and because he had gotten both at the same time, and he kind of threw Police Academy aside. He's like, why would I do that? And he like the next day he switched them, because he said, you know what? No one's going to see this other film, so at least this way I'll be seen.
In my head, I hope he turned it down, like a 6-year contract to perform Hamlet in the West End or something like that, like some ridiculously prestigious role.
He had turned down the role before Bruce Willis took Die
Hard. I knew it. I knew he was a Die Hard guy. Oh man. So,
but yeah. So I mean, it's and again, this is the first movie, and I think we get So I know, like in your other ones, it was as you got down to the end, it was, should there be another one?
Right.
And I don't know if we're at that point.
I think we're at that point right now. So real quick, we'll discuss that
in a second.
Basically, just to put some perspective in here to where we are going. This movie came out in 1984. It was budgeted. It was about $4 million for a budget, which for a comedy in 1984. Yeah, okay.
It's still on the low end.
It's still on the low end, but it's still also
pretty good.
A pretty decent budget.
It's expected to do well.
It did $81 million.
That's doing well.
It did very good for a stupid little cheeky comedy,
R-rated
comedy.
I mean, this is before the days of PG-13.
Yeah, like just which, and really you could argue
today it'd probably be PG-13.
It would be PG-13 because they don't swear too much in it.
If at all.
There's a couple like questionable comments. There's some slurs. There is nudity. There's definitely sexual content.
Yes.
But it's like, it's not R-rated like Porky's. Porky's is an R-rated film because there's freaking nudity like every other minute in that movie. There had to be. Well, that's why I know that movie. I'm sorry. Sorry,
just
I got
getting
a little,
very warm all of a sudden.
Boy, my face is red because.
Good thing this isn't on a vodcast.
Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. It's warm in here. Anyways, it's weird. So the movie was very successful.
Yes.
So yes, we'll leave it at that. Mm-hmm. Do you feel, based upon what you saw of this movie, that this movie deserved a sequel? Would you have walked out of the theater going, yeah, that was, and even like nowadays, like I know in the 80s people were a little more acceptable to being like, yes, I want to see more of that. But like nowadays, if you had seen this movie and you had no idea that this was part of a franchise, would you go, yeah, I'd like to see another one of those. Looks like fun.
Yes. Based on the model that we talked about, like how the director gave each actor a chance to build their own person, how it wasn't really centered. I mean, Mahoney is their main guy, but it's not really centered on him. It's centered on the police academy itself.
Okay.
So in that sense, yeah, because now they've graduated, now they're moving on. So yes, I could see a next one following this model.
Okay. I would also agree with you. Yeah, I would totally be like, yeah, because and it's for pretty much exactly the same reasons you just said, that they introduced us to, and this is part 2, because I will like to do this, like, because you were kind of going in one direction, I want to clarify what you're saying. What would part 2 be to you? Not, you don't have to be like specific details, but you were kind of making a comment that because they established it's about the police academy and they established this kind of structure, would you want it to be part 2 being a bunch of new recruits?
No,
or would you
I would still want to continue on with these.
Okay, because they're brand new.
Now it's them in the police station.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which essentially is what the basis of the next film is, but I don't remember much of it.
I don't remember. I seriously cannot remember which one Bobcat Goldthwait shows up in. I do not remember. One. Is it 2?
I think so.
I couldn't remember. Also, is the we'll talk about that later. Because I do remember little things like the one nerdy guy with the glasses joining the police force.
Yeah, Tim Katzenberg,
like
or
his
Tim
wife.
Krasinski, yeah.
Who like tells her not to, like, which is
that
very
one,
small
that
part,
guy, yeah,
very small part in this.
Yeah, she like rides the car,
right. And that's also one of the moments where I realized this was a spoof movie, because like her holding onto the car going down the freeway, and Kim Cattrall's character, or her mom character, just like sitting. It's inside the car, and here comes the car with the wife attached to the roof.
Yep.
And then she looks over and sees it. Like that visual gag feels very much so like out of an airplane or a Naked Gun, like just ridiculousness. But I do like her. The wife character comes back and she joins the police force, I think.
Yeah, is that Citizens on Patrol?
Is that like, yeah, it's one of those, right? Like, I remember that happening, which is kind of fun that they introduced a character, which I know they didn't have any intention. This wasn't like a cinematic universe, but which kind of it could be.
Wait, it is. The Police Academy cinematic. Oh, that was the first one.
Did they ever specify where the Police Academy took place in? Is it possible that this could be where John McClane got his start?
I think so.
Excellent.
I'm pretty sure it is.
So somewhere in part 3, he joins the police force and then immediately moves to New York, and then immediately goes to L.A.
Yeah.
Flies to New York to become a New York cop, and then goes back out to L.A. to save Holly. We are going to connect every franchise that we do. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a fun little game. That is like has nothing to do with the rest of these movies. Just being like, all right, so where do you think the girl with the dragon tattoo fits into this whole franchise that we got going on? Where does Mannequin fit in? Mannequin fits in because of Harris is actually the same cop. He moved to the other city.
I can't wait for you and Dan Casey to do American Pie.
Somehow, oh my goodness. Stop introducing movies or the future.
I've been to the future. I know what happens, okay?
We have so many of these. It's going to be a while, guys. So that, and I like, yeah, you basically, you nailed it on the head, because you got exactly what I would say. Like, I would love to see a part 2. Like, I would love to see more of these characters. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like, yeah, you've introduced the characters. Give us more of them. Like, this was all them just learning how to be cops. Put them in a world where they now have to be cops.
Right.
And then maybe they fall out of being cops in a future one or something weird like that.
So now, and this, cause I think it's been long enough since we've seen the second one that I really don't. I remember one bit, and that's it.
I couldn't remember which subtitle it was.
So, what wouldn't you want to see in the sequel?
That's actually kind of tough. I don't know. Like, there wasn't really anything in this movie where I'm like, all right, I could do with less of that. Because I feel like most, like, I could do with more Kim Cattrall. Because I'm a guy. Can't help it. And she was an 80s beauty. This is just common knowledge, folks. But I don't know. I don't know what I would...
Well, maybe let me add, because the thought I had in my head was, so how how TV shows have introduced characters before. There's supposed to be side characters, and they end up being the main. So this one feature, this one annoying habit, this one Steve Urkel, let's say, starts out as like a side character, but becomes the main character by the end, and he's doing the same shtick all the time. While each actor created their own character, they each have like a tick or a shtick that they're with. My fear is if those shticks become bigger than the character.
Okay.
that would be my like where the writers kind of lose control and it's kind of like, all right, Tackleberry, you want to make another big gun joke? I'm not writing it. You can take it on.
Gotcha. I would say like maybe the big heavy guy,
Barbara.
Yeah, his gag. It's like, okay, we've reached kind of the extent of fat jokes, you know. And the guy who's incredibly clumsy, I feel like, who is the husband of the wife dropping on his car. His bit, I feel like he was only established so they could have a reason why the riot randomly breaks out at the end of the film.
Why it breaks out and how he steals the plaid suit.
The ending of this movie is pretty damn ridiculous. Like, if you really sit down and think about it, because it all starts with him, getting an apple and throwing the apple away.
Yeah, because his partner or whatever doesn't want him eating the car.
Right. And it hits somebody who they turn around and they see another guy with a bag of apples and he thinks he does it, so they start a fight and that gets pushed over and the pinball machine rolls across the street and crashes through the window and people think it's a riot and they start stealing stuff, they start fighting. It is the most, okay, I will say it's very well done because I feel like you don't see that often. Especially nowadays, you don't see that type of a gag because it's so over the top and so ridiculous. Mm-hmm. That's not something you would expect in a movie. You just would be like, no, that's not what's going to happen.
They save those plots for James Bond movies now.
That is very true. It's overly complicated. You do not bring Skyfall Skyfall.
All of them.
Do not bring that into this. We will later on. No. Okay. Anyways. Back to the topic at hand. No, I would probably say I feel like his character, the clumsiness of his character, we've seen it. It can't go anywhere else because he ultimately created the final act of the movie.
Right.
I would be okay with seeing less of him and his thing, and then less of the fat guy because I feel like he also had his moment in the movie. We're okay with that. We don't need to see...
He gets his win at the end, too, which is great.
And it's great. Okay, fine. His story is complete. We don't need him anymore. Whereas some of those other characters, you could still expand upon Mahoney. You could technically expand upon Tackleberry because he is... Which I think they do. Don't they bring in a woman gun lover, like a gun nut
for Tackleberry?
For Tackleberry?
No, it's the female drill sergeant or drill.
Oh, the blonde-haired one.
Yeah, the blonde hair.
Yes, that's right.
Because there's the guy who dresses up Mahoney's roommate or one of the roommates. He dresses up as a woman so he can get to the woman's dorm.
Oh yes.
And seduce all the women.
One that doesn't actually have the Spanish accent.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
He just found that it worked better.
Yep. It's very clever.
Well, that's the thing. There's all these characters that we're bringing up, and it's they did well establishing themselves, and the director did well making sure each of them were featured. They each had their part, so that you knew them at least a little bit.
At least a little bit. So, I feel like we're on the same kind of page for our thoughts on this film. We both really liked it. Mm-hmm. We can't rate this one because it's the first one, so we can't compare it to anything else.
Right.
We definitely both agree that we'd like to see another one of these just to see kind of where they go.
And we will.
Because guess what, guys? A year later, they released Part 2, Police Academy 2. Was there a subtitle? Was it?
I'm sure there was, yeah.
I can't remember.
In Action.
And I looked it up 3 seconds ago. Their first assignment. That's it. Part 3, I think, is Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah.
I think. Anyways, they made a Part 2 a year later. This is literally the Saw of 80s comedies where they're just we're just going to keep cranking these things out.
Well, when a movie makes, spend $4 million
20 times its budget
and it makes $80 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a movie really quickly because you can say, hey, we'll just take some of this earned cash.
Just throw it at this next movie.
We'll say $6 million this time.
Yes, it's we could do that. So, but yeah, we get another Police Academy film after this. So now, very excited. So let's do a real quick, when it comes to these episodes. So with these comedies, one thing we had briefly discussed, we didn't do it with Die Hard because there was only 5 of them. Some of these we might group movie entries, multiple ones into a single, and it's not just because we want to get rid of Kris faster. That's not the case. It's just that like as it was, we struggled a little bit. We have 15 minutes until technically the end of like an hour-long episode. It's just sometimes some of these are a little harder to talk for at lengths.
What they're giving to the movie world isn't.
It's like they're great, they're funny. This was a great moment. This was a great moment. So, all right, let's go on to the next one.
But I think we'll be able to get into some points.
We will, and we're going to kind of wait and see, and we'll discuss it beforehand.
What?
Before we... No. We'll discuss beforehand whether or not we feel we could fill an hour with one entry. Oh. And if not, and if that's so, that's why if any future episodes, because definitely like...
The No Mahoney, to me...
Those are just going to be horrible. Up. So, and I'm not saying like, we're not going to do 2 and 3 as one episode. Yeah. My thought was always kind of at least get through the first 3 movies, and then after that...
Yeah, then we'll talk.
Then we'll talk, and
I
then
think
we'll be
Mahoney only has one more movie after that. I think he's only in 4.
In 4, and then he's gone.
And then hashtag No Mahoney.
Hashtag No Mahone on hashtag Frenchman. You guys heard it. So that's the hashtag No Mahone. Kind of like that. So just that's just a heads up for future episodes in case you see, there's a new episode, but we double up. There's 2 of them on this. That's the reason why. It's just, it's not that we're trying to get through them faster. It's just for some of these longer franchises, I would do it for the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I'm going to do it for like Halloween. Any of those like really long series, we're gonna end up doubling up on a couple just because all I would end up doing would be I'll be sitting and bitching about the film. Remember the last Die Hard movie episode? It would be that. But even some of those, like even the Friday the 13th films, some of those later ones, I'd just be like, I don't know, it was horrible. Like, I can't believe they did that. Why would they do that? Okay.
Yeah.
I got nothing else more besides it was bad and don't watch it, or do watch it and be miserable like me. So yeah, that's just a little housekeeping just before. So, well, with that, we'll probably actually wrap up.
Yeah, it's fine.
For this episode, was there any other final thoughts you had regarding the film?
Did you want to go to the Blue Oyster Salad Bar after this?
We should go to the Blue Oyster Salad Bar. I heard they have a really great band.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Village
dance
somebody
floor is
something.
always good, too.
We need to go to the Blue Oyster Bar after that. That was a callback to that movie. Please go make sure you watch that. I want to see more of those guys. Those 2 bumbling idiot guys are actually pretty damn funny.
They do well, yeah.
I'm actually okay with them.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, I know that there's only a certain level of, like, okay,
well, you need
what are they going to miscommunicate?
You need a foil.
Yeah.
You need a foil on one end. And yeah, it's classic comedy, sitcom-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Miscommunication,
but
misunderstanding.
It fits with the style of comedy that we're watching. You have to have that antagonist somewhere in there.
We got to save some of this kick-butt analysis for Police Academy 2.
I can't wait. Hopefully it won't be as long of a gap between... I'm hoping now that we're in the franchise, we can start blowing through some of these.
Probably.
Get them all kind of back on a schedule again.
Yep.
Like, had a little hard time for Die Hard, but we'll hopefully keep with Police Academy. So, well, with that, Kris, we've reached the end of this episode. Is there anything you would like to talk about or plug or discuss where people can find you on the interwebs?
Yes.
Where can the internet dwellers find you?
So if you like horror movies...
I love horror. I don't know. They're okay. As I would watch all the 80s select films.
I'm part of a podcast called Podcast Mania, where we review different horror films or horror elements, directors, actors. There's 5 or 6 of us kind of rotating, so that's fun. And then I'm also a rewatchman.
Oh yes,
so you can listen
to those podcasts. Which I got to be on finally.
Yes, as an intern.
Oh.
And
well, now guess who's the intern, bitch?
You don't have interns yet.
You didn't see the hand motion that I did. It was pretty damn ridiculous.
Pretty epically.
Hands flapping up and down. It was bad.
Elbow shouldn't bend that way.
Elbow shouldn't bend that way. I'm pretty positive I need to go to the hospital.
So now do we? Well, let's finish this first, and then we'll take
hurry, because I'm in quite a lot of pain.
So in the Rewatchmen, we'll re-review movies that maybe you haven't seen in 10, 20 years, like Police Academy would be something that we would watch in a Rewatchmen. And do we remember it as fondly?
I beat ya.
Or what we're just starting is a pre- and post-Watchmen. And that's what Jeff was on with me, where we epically watched Batman, Superman, and don't say anything because you should listen to that, because it is. We went in with some hope.
We did go,
and we left in with no hope.
Well, a little tiny sliver of kind of like, but mostly no hope.
Yeah.
We recorded that in my car on the way to the movie theater and on the way back from the movie theater.
Yes.
Doesn't have the high quality sound that this one does, where you hear the trains in the background.
Right. So we fully expect to do the same thing for Civil War and X-Men Apocalypse.
And by we, you mean?
You potentially, maybe original Rewatchmen TC.
Oh. What's that guy's deal? Come on, what is it? What is that? Yes, because real quick, as any of the listeners might have heard, that's the same podcast TC would usually plug at the end of his episodes. It's the same show that we're all, or that you guys are all doing, but it's a fun show. And
then what are you going to plug?
Well, I will plug this podcast. If you're not listening to this podcast, please do so. Oh, right. And at the time of this recording, we have officially become Google Plus. Podcast section has in fact gone live. I did look into it. It takes a little while to process. That's why they were. When we looked the other day, there was 1 or 2 episodes
5 minutes.
With 5 minutes of an episode. It's because they process for a little while. So for those of you out there who have Android devices or have Google Play, they use that for your music. They did introduce their podcast section, and Franchise Smanchise is on there, so you can subscribe to it. It's just taking freaking forever to process the audio clips for them for some reason. So if all the episodes don't show up, that's why. In the meantime, you can definitely go to ghostdad.net and go on there for the podcast and check it out. Also, be sure to subscribe to us, either on iTunes, maybe give us a rating, because we love people who rate things. That's fantastic. Remember, we're not professionals. This is just fun. That's my leftover from my Top Shelf days. Thomas knows what I'm talking about, right, Thomas? I love you, man. So... He knows what I mean by that. But no, otherwise, definitely like us on Facebook, so that way you keep I think I just stopped working. That way you can keep up with us and any updates we have for future episodes.
Such as Thomas doing Narnia series with Jeff.
Oh my goodness, would you stop it? What? That's number 267, and then American Pie is somewhere in the 500s, I'm assuming. Actually, no, American Pie probably end up being within the top 100, honestly. No lie, just because...
Because you'll have Bandcamp and you'll be like, why am I watching this?
Oh my goodness. There are so many of those, aren't there?
I should have picked that series. What was I thinking?
Oh my god, I forgot about the direct-to-video ones. The ones that all of them that had John Levy or...
Eugene Levy. Even when his son is no longer in it, but he's still in it.
God, please don't make me
Stifler's brother.
Please don't make me do those.
Yes. Come on, Dan Casey. Step up, Dan Casey.
Oh no. I am terrified to do those movies. I will look into that, and I will discuss my findings of whether or not American Pie will happen. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no. Okay, nope, that's not. Nope. Okay, we're going to talk about that later. I'm going to beat you to that. But actually, there's a really good quick point. Real quick at the end. Oh, and also you guys can find me on Twitter at randombell.com. That website doesn't exist. I'm on Twitter at randombell. I do live tweets. I'm watching the Aliens and Predator movies right now just for funsies. So I do live tweets of those just because I can.
And we do podcast or share out our video game play once.
This is true on the YouTubes. I do not remember what my username is. I will find it, and if I can remember, I'll put it in the show notes on the website for this. But every once in a while we do play. We do live stream some video games, video game play on the YouTubes.
You can see us get killed by 12-year-olds.
That's so bad. And you can see what Jeff's like when he's been drinking.
Pretty much the same.
It's pretty much the same.
A little angrier.
I'm incoherent and just slightly a bit more angry. Yeah, very good point. So with that, everybody, that's it. That's it for this week's episode. We don't really still have a good sign off for the end of the show.
Okay.
If you come up with something, feel free to figure out a phrase or. Until next time, or I don't know. I have nothing. I really have no sign-offs. And I'm riffing until you can. I know. Until you start talking again.
Right. I was just letting you go. I was letting you go.
Oh, and while you're looking that up real quick, one of the things we were thinking about doing for future episodes, if we have a little ways to go for a couple more franchises, but a couple of franchises from now, we will start offering up voting. So we'll offer up a couple different movie series, or you can also write one in, technically, for those of you listening, and whatever one gets the highest rating, that's the next franchise that we will do, just to kind of keep things interesting. But we're talking like 5 or 6 franchises away from it now, because I kind of have a schedule and who I'm working with and who's next. Who's going to replace you one day, Kris? I mean...
I'm sorry. I'm going to be rewriting the rules as my job as intern to include TV and cartoons. In
each episode is
each
cartoonish. Oh, my goodness.
Like, I'm sorry, next host, Jeff's not available.
At that point, the show is no longer Franchise Schmanchise. That show is now Police Academy
podcast.
Yeah, that's all that it is.
The PAP.
Oh my goodness. PAP.
The PAP.
Welcome to PAP, everybody. Tackleberry out.
So this is how we end the show.
So we'll see you guys at the Blue Oyster Bar. I have music, but I think this is...
Come on, you gotta give the 80s tinniness of it.
Okay, but only if you dip me.
Of course.
Fantastic. All right, everybody. Bye, everybody. Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
It was.
This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.